So this particular game of Delta Green, From A Darkened Room, it's quite an old, maybe 10, 15-year-old scenario that's been updated for the new Delta Green. Delta Green is very similar to Call of Cthulhu, in as much as it's very percentile dice. It's almost still 6th edition. Some interesting changes. Now, Delta Green came out 8 months before X-Files. So when people like X-Files, actually X-Files is a little bit like Delta Green. So you tend to play law enforcement agents or agents within the establishment fighting against the Cthulhu mythos or just supernatural threats. There are instances where it takes place in Iraq, Afghanistan, but it's more or less an American setting until Pisces comes out, and then we can go and do the UK. So the Delta Green sets itself up in cells. So you are 4 or 5 individuals who don't know each other until you're brought together in a cell, and then over time you may get to know each other, but it's compartmentalized in terms of the information. So the person above you just get your handler, agent, whatever that will be. You don't know you unless you have been on enough missions to then run another team. So they do compartmentalize. So some of the stuff you'll find out or you'll be told is only a bit of the information you need to know, and the rest of you. Now there is an ethos to Delta Green in terms of your roles and responsibility. That's all gone quiet.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
I got
GM drop.
beep. Okay, so we begin as rookie agents. So none of you have been on a mission before. You've all had contact with an agent, Donnelly, and over the course of several months, he slowly brought you into the idea of kind of joining Delta Green and going on a mission. And your first mission. So you met each other for the first time a few days ago. All you know, whatever call sign you've given yourself. So if, for argument's sake, we're going to call this T cell, then everyone will be called Agent T, Agent Tom Tristan, Agent Teabag. Just so that you don't know what the real identity of the other person is. So before we get to the nitty-gritty, opening scenes, you find yourselves in a cabin in the woods. It's dark. There's rain outside. And you are standing around an open footlocker. And McMurty is holding a note. So that's the cabin in the woods, quite run down. It's raining outside. You're holding a note. Where's the note gone? Note's there. If you want to read this out.
Okay. I can't see it yet.
Okay. Oh, that's it, because I haven't moved the players.
Kevin.
Okay.
Yep.
Kevin, you said we've all got call signs and that's all we know about each other.
Yeah, so whatever you want to call you. So what was the opening scene? And then we'll do a flashback to you meeting each other.
All right, mate. Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
So this is to give you a setup.
Okay. So to whom it may concern, if I'm not going to do an American accent, even though I'm assuming we're all American. To whom it may concern, if you are reading this note, I can assume I have died or become incapacitated before I had the courage to complete my final mission. You will find about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind this cabin. Pour it into the septic tank beside the cabin and ignite it. You'd be happier if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept from my children. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. And it's signed Clyde. Is that
Bauman.
Bauman? Clyde Bauman. Okay. So we are presumably outside the cabin, right?
So you're inside the cabin,
Okay.
standing over, and that's
Okay.
actually the opening scenes. So we flash back to a day or so ago. Agent Donnelly, this is the guy that's effectively been grooming you this job, calls you together to go on effectively a test mission. This is your first Delta Green mission. So you've met each other. So we'll give you naming each other if you want. So if you could go around the room, go around the screen, and you can either use your real name, which frowned upon, or come up with an agent name. Agent, anything beginning with T. We'll call it T cell.
Okay. Who wants to go first then?
Agent Trombone will go first.
Trombone.
Agent Tiramisu here. Damn it, I've got to type that up somewhere, haven't I? Damn it, I've got to learn to spell that now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tara Masalata. No! Yes.
Okay.
Agent Trope.
Clever.
Toucan.
Was that toucan?
Yep.
Damn it, I'm beginning to regret tiramisu now.
He's 4 short of a 6-pack.
Yes. Yes. So you were sent your mission. Let me read it out to you. You had a there's been Clyde Bauman used to work for Delta Green some time ago. You are going to be sent to his house to double check. He's not collected any Delta Green items. And if he has, you need to remove them. And if there are any threats there, get them simple. So proceed to the residence of Clyde Bauman. Remove any evidence of Delta Green activities. Clyde Bauman's heirs are expected within 48 hours by then. Involve no one else in this operation. Meet in the same conference room in 48 hours with a report. If you find signs that Bauman violated Delta Green security, you report his house. And you found that there was a couple of odd symbols, but there was a link to this cabin in the woods here. Searched the cabin and found this footlocker. Now, the footlocker itself, an old Vietnam era box. It had a reel-to-reel tape with FBI evidence tags dated the 15th of August 1972 to the 29th of September 1972. 21 hour audio. It has an unknown Christian church. There's a cardboard box containing a neatly folded suit, annotated copy of the doctoral dissertation "Sky Devils: Archetypal Figures in Native American Mythology" by Karen Barr. 3 tear gas grenades, a large iron knife, a mundane leather pouch containing feathers and some teeth, 1 highly magnetized glass sphere, a sizable file regarding the Ventaja Corporation. In there is reference to K Group and a raid on a warehouse in Puerto Rico, resulting in the recovery of something called the SCHEEL formula, SCHEEL formula, in a manila envelope. Title. It's empty. And then on top was this sticky note that said about the septic tank. The only other thing you know is that Clyde Bauman's wife died 12 years ago. He was on his own. He has 2 kids and a granddaughter. He was active during the 70s, and that's it.
Do we know if Bauman was part of K Group or not?
No.
We don't know that.
No.
Did we complete our mission at his residence? Did we do everything we needed to there?
Yes, that's what led you to this particular.
Yeah, but we don't need to return back there and
No.
clean anything up. That's all done. Okay.
No.
Can I ask, when is this set?
Now.
So it is contemporary. So can I assume that then we probably would have taken, phone snapshots? You said that there were some images or some symbols that we didn't understand, but I presume we would have taken. Again, problem with Delta Green, as I understand it, because it's quite compartmentalized and you don't get much guidance. So presumably we can make our own, to some degree, make our own procedures. So if we'll take pictures, or I'll take pictures of the symbols, just in case they are important.
As you mentioned procedures, one thing that Agent Donnelly did go through with you, briefing, and in essence, he kind of give you a prep talk, saying that as an agent, you protect the US and humanity itself from unnatural deadly, that mere awareness of them is dangerous. It may be necessary to violate every law and principle that you've ever sworn to uphold. You must never tell anyone about the program, not about the work you do on its behalf. You may die, be crippled, go insane, or be imprisoned, and your family will never know the truth. You are told the mission is worth the sacrifice. Standing orders within Delta Green. There are 5 priorities. Priority 1, stop the incursion. Now, these are general standing orders above and beyond the empowerment. Stop the incursion. 2, minimize awareness of the incursion in order to prevent the damage from spreading. 3, obscure the program's involvement. Secure all evidence that an unnatural event has occurred. 4, secure evidence, samples, documents, and advanced technologies for collection. 5, save lives, as many. So back to the room.
Yeah.
You are kind of fish out of water. You've never done one of these before. You've had some experience with the supernatural and the weird, but you've never been on a mission before. This is kind of your first step into
Could we have a record of the items in the locker? Do you have a handout, or should we type it into the text?
Not necessarily for this particular.
Okay.
Not necessarily for this particular venture. But essentially, there's some tapes which will take months to go through. There's a cardboard box coming with the bloody suit. There is a large knife. Anyone with archaeology can have a look at the knife.
Can I, on that note, actually, I just looked in my journal.
Yeah.
I can see there's a character there, but I can't actually see the character sheet.
Likewise.
Yeah,
No.
ditto.
I've got
I'm looking
bio
at
and
the
info is
PDF.
blank, but it doesn't actually show me. Yeah, I think I downloaded the PDF of the quick start, which I think these characters are from, so I can bring that up.
Okay.
But just as a bit of awareness, it's not showing. So you might have to just go into the settings and
allow access to players.
Yeah, one of the problems I've got is stupidly my push to talk is page down. So when I look at the PDF, it zooms to the end. So it's not a very efficient way of looking at the character.
Okay, that's it. Can be play. That's it. Editing control. That's what I forgot to do. Save changes. The editing control. Well, you should be able to see.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yes, carry.
Looks like mine's loading now.
Yeah, I just don't carry in. And some just do. Save. Yeah, I guess. Kurtz.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's there.
Kurtz. What's Roger? Roger was Kurtz, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just give me a heads up when you've done mine. I'll just double check
Yes.
I can see it.
Yep. That should be all
Oh
done.
yeah. Yeah, got it. Yeah, got it.
So I don't know whether I can't remember whether anthropologist. Who's the anthropologist? Palmer. No, his name Palmer. Kurtz, Karamov. I would take history or
I've got a sad 10% on history.
Yeah, ditto.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
History's not my thing.
Let's do a gen. I don't have history, but I do know what this particular thing is, and that's not just because I've read. It's possible that you might know what they are.
All right. So, is it intelligence or?
So yes, intelligence. Let's go intelligence.
So is this the same as how do you roll for? Oh, there you go.
Yes, push button. 2%.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Was that me?
No.
Who was that?
I
No,
think
no.
There we go.
As you pick up, you go, well, this is clearly Anglo-Saxon. But also, not only is it Anglo-Saxon, it has Oghams marked, and the handle is human bone, and it's not that old. So the actual knife itself looks Anglo-Saxon, or at the very least, it's Anglo-Saxon. Can't say it. Anglo-Saxon manufacture with Oghams, but with a new human bone handle.
bit of refurbishment.
Yeah, for 2%, I think.
And all things like testing the human bone for DNA is going to be out of the scenario.
You
right?
can do that. You'd need to go to a lab. Yeah, you can do that. Go to a lab and do that, and later.
Sure. Okay.
What sort of resources do we have in terms of Delta Green? Because again, my understanding of the setting is that because it's so secret, so it's not like Shield where you can go to Delta Green headquarters and there's 200 people in the lab who'll
What
do
you would
your bidding. You
No,
can't tell anybody about it, right? You've only got yourselves to count on, basically.
You've got a disposable phone, a burner phone,
Yeah.
with one number in.
Which is our handler, presumably. Is it?
Yeah, you also have access to green boxes. So a green
Okay.
box is, in essence, a lockup. They've got loads of these around the country. You'll be given the address and the passcode. Open up the green box, and it could have anything from nothing time bar wrapper to full to the brim of almost nuclear weapons.
Okay.
You won't know. They're and they've been going.
So I was just going to say, given that, so as I understand it, and again, because again, we don't necessarily know who we are in terms of each other, and as you say, we come from, but we know that we all come from law enforcement or federal agencies. So presumably, some of us may have contacts from our kind of previous career.
Yep.
So presumably, you could call in a favour from a, So if you've got a friend who's a forensic, if you work as a forensic, if you work with a forensic pathologist or something, you could, in theory, use those resources, right? Obviously, you wouldn't tell them what you were testing or why, but
for some missions, you will be told if there are Delta Green friendlies nearby.
Okay.
For some missions, you
there
will
might be
given access.
specialists. Which,
Yeah, but
Fair
you
enough.
that so the start of the mission, you go, okay, this is the mission green box, and here's any Delta Crew friendlies nearby.
Yeah.
As such, you haven't been given any of those for this particular mission.
But as on that particular point, you notice the way that I examined it suggests that I do know a little bit about pathology.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, you can get later well each other who or what you do, but this is your first mission. It's it would be better not to just yet. But back to the matter at hand, you do have this issue of the 20 gallons of gas and a septic tank.
I mean, presumably we would do what was asked, right? Is there any reason why we wouldn't?
The particular issue is whether we look in the septic tank before we blow it up, essentially.
Yeah.
So how much do we trust this guys who we never met, that's dead? How much do we trust his advice as a fellow Delta Green, a more experienced Delta Green?
Your access to Delta Green has been quite limited. You were called in to, you were given, you were there as information about a particular piece of data that was given to you by an agent, and you were kind of groomed. So somebody come up to you and say, "Oh, do you know anything about?" No, you might have experienced the supernatural, but also you work for the FBI. Do you have any information person? And you'd assist without getting any information about the mission, and then over time, Agent Donnelly has kind of he had, and now you kind of bought into this thing hook, line, and sinker because you've experienced something weird, and now you're going. So this is you're looking for.
I mean, I think we'd probably take a look, wouldn't we?
I mean, one of the problems was that the briefing suggested that if he'd gone on off mission, we should report on it. So that would be either the contents of the box are sufficient to do that, or we look in the thing before we blow it up.
Yeah.
We don't all need to look, do we? Should we draw straws?
Well, you said, kind of mildly said you'd wish you hadn't, but it wasn't like, do not watch it, no matter what.
He only advised, didn't he?
You'd be happier if you didn't look inside.
Yeah. It's not like, I don't feel like I'm going to lose my life.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a loose thread on the top that I'm wearing, and then I'm gonna take a flick knife out of my pocket, and I'm gonna cut it into 4. They're different lengths. One of them is shorter than the others. I'm gonna hold them in my hand, and I'm gonna hold the threads out.
So everyone make a D6, and the person who gets the lowest is the person that pulls the shortest thread. If you match, we'll keep going.
Oh dear, Roger.
Oh, 2 can. You might be 1 can after it.
Yeah. Well,
so
I have a problem with that. Should we gather all the stuff up?
So the actual cans, as you came into the cabin, there was an outhouse. So you kind of guess the cans might be in the outhouse, but it's
I mean, I'll grab some cans on the way over to the septic tank.
Walking over to the outhouse, you walk past a stake in the ground. There is a chain coming from the stake in the ground that's going to a clump of grass. As you walk past, there was a dog chained here, and it has passed away and is now covered in grass.
Okay, decomposed.
Decompose. So you lose one sanity for that.
No.
Sanity works slightly different. There's different types of trauma. So you'll have against violence, helplessness, and the unnatural. So this is you kind of, it's the helplessness of this poor thing's chained up, and which is kind of a bit unnerving. So inside the outhouse are a number of cans, 20 gallons. So they are those green things of 5 gallons, 10 gallons. 10 gallons. There are 2 of those.
Okay.
Sorry, right. They're 10-gallon drums. Yeah, you could just keep them because they're worth thousands full of gas these days. But that's it's just 2. I mean, I put loads up there, but it's only just 2 full of.
Most of them are empty, Kev.
Yeah, most of them are empty because other teams have burnt things. So the first question is: anyone have a lighter? Do you have a mechanism to light this thing? So if you want to smoke, you can roll 1d6, and 1 at 2 you smoke, at 4 you don't, 3 at 6 you don't. Otherwise, you can just choose that you actually are a chain smoker and have got a Zippo.
I thought Zippo was special issue for FBI agents.
Yeah.
Or perhaps that's when you leave.
Yeah,
by whatever means.
Yeah, gold encrusted one. So no peer pressure. No peer pressure.
Yeah.
Do you want to smoke? Basically.
Personally, I don't. No, I don't want to be a smoker in this. So I'm happy to go back into the cabin and have a look for a box of matches or anything through the drawers and stuff.
Yep. And you can free smokes. You can go back and you will find a box of the American version Swan Vesta.
Okay.
Swan Vesta. Don't smoke. A box of matches.
So as I went out to the little outhouse or whatever it was where the cans are. Did anyone else come outside?
Yeah, well, I was going to head towards the
septic tank.
Yeah, the septic tank.
Okay, so as I come out and I see you walking over there, I'll shout over to you. Do you have a light? Do you have a light on you?
No, I don't.
No, me neither. I'll go ask the other 2.
According to my my sheet, I'm presuming he hasn't got it all with him, but it says he does. My character's got camping gear and basic camping gear, so I would argue it's probably reasonable to assume he at least have matches, if not a lighter.
Yes. Yep. I mean, it's not.
So I'll pull out the box of matches and I'll throw it over to Agent Trombone.
Okay, I will. Sorry, Kev.
Agent Toucan, as you arrive at the septic tank, you can see that the padlock that's locking the lid is actually quite new. Newer than.
So it's been okay.
And it's a padlock. You don't put padlocks on septic tanks, and really, it's not. It seems unusual. You do have a set of keys that you picked up from his apartment. One of them's a Yale padlock, so you have got the key to it, but it's somewhat unusual.
Yeah. That's all new. Righto. Who's got those keys?
You would have been given them as you were going out to the septic tank. That seems quite logical.
Okay. I'll grab the keys from whoever's carrying them.
Yeah.
And I'll naively head over to open up the padlock. Well, assuming the key fits.
Okay, you open the padlock. So you unlock the padlock. Then what are you going to do?
So you're gonna have a little. I'd be careful about using a match to look inside though. You'll probably set it off.
I do have a flashlight if need be.
So
yeah.
Have you taken the padlock off, or are you just leaving it unlocked?
I'll unlock it, and then I will.
Yeah, I'm about 10 paces away,
and I will lift the clasp or whatever it is, and
as you open it, you hear a voice from inside. It says, "Help! Have you come to help me?"
Uh-oh. Fortunately, I'm probably far enough away not to hear this, but
can I see in?
Inside, you can see as you're flickering the light, there appears to be a that's a little way back. Help me! If you come to help save me, are you the police? I've been trapped in here for.
Guys, there's someone in here.
Not a small man in a box, surely.
Is it a child?
No, it's not a child. It appears to be
I say
an
we
adult.
take off and nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Okay, so how is Agent
two things. So
how is Agent Toucan reacting to this?
Well,
because obviously we obviously can't see this.
Now, no. So Agent Toucan, can you make a sanity roll?
And what is that? A D what?
Sanity 200. Sanity.
Oh, I see what you mean. Actual. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. No modifier.
Success. So you just take.
Good. I was worried. It said critical. I thought that doesn't sound good.
So you have got a loss of 1 point of sanity. It's a smell of. If you have a medical background, you'll know what the smell is. Rotting and excrement, urine, and decomposing. There's a distinct horror. It's quite overpowering. So everyone else looking at it, you can see Toucan kind of look down the hole and as if to take a double take on what he's seen, but you can't see, and nobody else can see anything that's down there.
If that's what it looks like, yeah, it doesn't look quite normal and natural.
I mean, this obviously
Female voice, and she's saying, "Oh, help! Save me! Oh, you come to save me? Let me out! My husband died some time ago. Is he with you?"
Okay, right. Tiramisu.
Yeah.
I might have to rethink that. Anyway, tiramisu is obviously you can see that. So again, because we stood back, presumably we can't hear this conversation, but we can see that Toucan is kind of obviously engaged in something. He's obviously reacting to something.
You can make a search roll, which is in. I don't think there's listen. No, search, which covers listen,
That's okay. I don't want to particularly listen. I'm just going to walk over. I'm just going to walk over towards Toucan and say, "Hey, man, what's the problem? We know what we need to do with this thing. Let's just pour the gas in there and set this thing alight and get out of here."
You've got help. Oh, please help me. Please put a ladder down and help me out.
Okay, so do I hear this now?
Which you can hear. You can hear this.
What the hell?
My husband was a very sick man. He was always seeking secrets. He had a very dark past. Do you have any water? I'm really thirsty. Really thirsty.
I mean, think about this. Toucan. This makes no sense, man. This person. This is not good. She cannot have been down there. Come on, man. We need to follow orders. Unless we need to torch this thing.
So, Tiramisu, you need to make a sanity roll because you can smell this.
Okay.
I'm going to try.
She's been dead for maybe 12 years, since 2011.
Yeah.
Well, that's when
sanity.
she was reported.
So how do you make a... where's the sanity? Oh, sanity. Just you click on sanity points.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't know whether that works.
It says modifier.
No modifier.
Does that work?
Success.
There we go.
That's 1 point of sanity.
Okay, listen. So, okay. So, right. So, what Tiramisu is going to do then? So, these fuel cans are next to the. Are they stacked up here? Or...
No, I'm carrying. I've got them. I've got 2 cans.
I think we just. I'm just going to grab a can and I'm just going to upend gasoline into the septic tank. So I'm not paying any attention to this voice coming from inside because we know that this cannot be good. This is not a person asking for help, is being trapped. This is obviously not what this is. So I'm just going to get the fuel, or get one of the tanks of fuel, and I'll just stand there and just pour the gasoline into the septic tank, and then strike a match and light it.
Okay, as I see Agent Sue doing this, I'll take the other can and start pouring as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to ignore this voice. Ignore this and just pour the fuel in. To be honest, if you just poured one thing of gasoline, though, and you set fire to it, that's going to go up, right? That's not going to. It doesn't matter whether you pour one. If you put in fuel in there and you set light to it, it's going to go up. I mean, this is
but it's solidarity there, Agent Sue. I'm showing my support.
Yeah, I'm just going to pour the fuel in and just light it.
So save some for the shed.
She continues to talk. So 2 things can begin to pour it down. Agent Trombone comes next to you. Agent Trombone, the smell now hits you. Now with a bit of gasoline, you need to make a sanity roll. And wood and attempts to raise her hand outside of the septic tank.
And I'm going to go, whoa, there's someone down there.
Yeah, I told you.
No, man, this ain't happening. Let's just light this thing.
And you get a reply from Trope, who's standing back and says, "Oxygen."
Oxygen.
Agent Trombone.
Yeah.
You need to make a 1d8.
1d8, yeah.
And that is your sanity loss from 3. 3's okay. 3's doable. And that is from unnatural.
I'm struggling to edit the character sheet.
Oh yeah.
What bit are you trying to edit, Steve?
So if I go to the character sheet,
yeah,
and then you've got an edit button at the top right there.
No, don't worry about that. Just go to the little white box where it says current. Are you trying to edit your sanity?
Yeah, you can just amend it there, can you?
Yeah,
okay,
just do it.
Fine. Right, done that. Thank you. There we go. Cool, thanks.
So you haven't got to say you are quite.
Yeah, I'm just continuing to pour. I'm just pouring fuel in there. I'm just going to set fire to this thing, unless one of you tries to stop me. I'm just going to.
Well, verbally, I will. So, Agent Sue, there's someone down there.
Okay, so first of all, it's tiramisu. Second of all, this can't be what it looks like, right? We have orders. I'm setting fire to this thing. And I'm just going to say, as soon as I've emptied that fuel in there, I'm just going to go strike a match, chuck it down and obviously leg it back because, of course.
Get about 3 litres in there, and you see in the darkness where you were getting glimpses of eyes, they disappear, and then from nowhere, 2 hands jump up and almost as if she kind of bent down and leapt up, and now 2 hands are grabbed hold tank and appear to be attempting to pull itself out.
Okay, so I reach inside my jacket or under my armpit and I pull out a Magnum
So you're going to put
revolver.
the gas. Okay, you're going to put the gas can down.
Well, I've basically emptied. I mean, my intention was to empty the gas tank out.
Yeah,
empty the
you got 3
canister.
You got 3 litres in, and then she jumped
So I
up.
discarded it. Okay, so I've discarded it. And I'm just going to pull out my weapon and just.
First thing you got to do, and then that will determine whether when you've discarded it, it drops down and the rest of it leaks out, or you manage to put it down. But the way luck works, it's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
So you roll 1d100 under a 50. It's a success. Over it's
so
not.
Just roll 1d100 on the interface. Then.
If you get 11, 33, 44, then that is a critical success. If you get
so that's
55,
a
66,
it's a 40.
So yes. So as you put the candle onto the floor.
Yeah.
You get your gun out.
And I just pull the gun out and just shoot a couple of times into where, these arms are reaching on, presumably where the body would be or the head would be. I'm just into the darkness.
Yeah.
And I've got a Magnum. I believe it's a Magnum revolver that I've got.
Yep.
I think if I just double check that.
I will also. I'll draw a 9mm and I'll hold it with a 2-hand grip, but I will not shoot. I'll just aim at the.
Sorry, Kevin. What did you say, Kevin?
So Agent Trombone hadn't taken the lid off his can to prepare to pour it down because he'd seen the woman. So when he puts the can down, it doesn't matter whether it falls on the lid on. So make an attack.
Right, okay. So firearms, presumably, yes.
Yep, firearms.
Did that work? I haven't heard roll 20 beeped.
It hasn't beeped. Yeah, these character sheets are not as good as the Cthulhu.
Okay, well I can see that I've got 60, so I'll just roll on the dice. That's Hang on, I'll just roll D100.
Yeah, I couldn't find the best ones I could find. So you fail.
Oh well, no, there's a 40 there. That was the first one.
Oh, first one. Was that yes.
No, that was my other one. Okay. I mean, it's a fail. Okay, fair enough. But I guess I'm not really aiming at anything in particular.
Well, so you hit. No, but the muzzle flare that comes out of the gun ignites the 3 litres of fuel, and there's
perfect.
A back blast and a hand drop.
Yeah. Okay. And can we
fire?
So can we? There was a lid, right? So can we put the lid back on and just seal it
yes.
up? Would that work?
You can put the lid back on and seal it up.
I'll say oxygen again.
Yeah, good point. I mean, I guess we don't really want to deprive it of oxygen, but we also don't want it creeping out, right? What do we think? Just leave the lid off and let it burn?
It's been in here 12 years.
It didn't have any oxygen.
Good. Yes, correct.
If you close it, you risk the fire going out.
Yeah, fair play. So we leave the lid off then, I guess. So fine. Should we just pour more gasoline in then? I guess that's the obvious thing to do.
Do we want to save some for the shed?
I mean, I can pour the rest of my because I've still got the open canister, right? So I'll just upend the rest of the canister into the hole and sort of toss the canister down as well.
So those 3 litres of petrol have gone up. It's kind of like a big burst, and it's on fire. But 3 litres isn't going to be that much. The inside, screaming. She has got some petrol on her, and she is ignited. But she is screaming in a pitiful, pitiful voice. It's so pitiful. You have to. It's that bad. It sounds the helplessness.
Okay.
screaming, "Help me! Help me! Don't kill me! I haven't done anything wrong. Why trap me in here?" Yeah, in between
the
the
very fact that
screams of,
she's still talking right now is probably not a good sign, is it?
No.
But anyway, okay, let me make another sanity roll. Does that work? Oh, yeah, it's not very good, that, is it, at all?
Do we
No,
all need to?
yes. So all of you are nearby. Trope, how close are you?
As I said, I was standing back, and I keep saying oxygen.
Okay, so you can, given that you have
I'd hear the
heard her.
screams, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I'd have heard the screams.
So yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
Trombone, Sue, you don't lose any sanity because you're aware of what's gone on. However, Toucan, you do need to the 8 sanity roll. It's now it's gone a bit beyond 4. That's fine. It's getting a bit hectic. Managed to get around 10 to 15 liters in the tank. As you get empty your fuel in there, it's igniting as soon as it goes in. Really, it's getting quite dangerous to pour much more gasoline in because of the danger of it igniting and going back into the. It probably would have, but I'll allow you to get at least 15 liters in. But it's
Okay,
just,
yeah. I mean, obviously, once it becomes obviously dangerous, then I think we just leave it to burn.
Yeah.
Might be worth. Perhaps I'll keep an eye on. I'll sort of pull back and keep the entrance covered in case she tries to get out.
You can make
Kevin, in the footlocker, did you say there was some sort of grenade or something?
yeah, no, there was a tear.
Oh, tear gas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's got enough tears already, actually.
Yeah.
Shall we?
So you can make an intelligence roll. No. A trope can make an intelligence roll. So, given that you're going on oxygen, if you shut the lid but shot holes into the side of the septic tank, oxygen could get in.
Yeah.
But given that it's had a padlock on, are quite limited, so you could create more oxygen and still lock the lid.
Yeah, I don't have a gun, but
No.
I will relay that. Make sure there's oxygen for the fire, but shut the lid.
Good idea. I'm more than happy to shoot a couple of holes into the septic tank.
Okay, so
is it possible to put the padlock back on?
yes.
We'll
Whoever's
do that.
going to do that will kind of look down the hole, and you can hear.
I don't think any of us would want to actually look down the hole, but okay.
The
I won't
pitiful,
look in the hole.
I will refrain.
the pit of a woman dying in the darkness.
Well, it's
You
not that
managed-
dark. There's a lot of fire down there. She can probably see.
Yeah, she can probably see what's going on, I would argue.
I imagine
Boy,
her
she-
eyelids are burnt away, so she should be able to see.
I don't think she has eyelids.
No, not now. But boy, is she hot. That's where I was
Yeah.
going with that one. So you managed to lock the lid. And as you
And I'll
lock
just-
it, and you start pumping holes in it, and the whole thing begins to shake. Something is
Not very
thumping
happy.
the tank trying to get out.
Okay,
Really
obviously
should-
back off, and I'll obviously. Hey guys, fall back.
Let's take the
That
footlocker.
thing's really pissed off.
Let's take the footlocker and
And this thump after maybe 5 minutes, and then you hear the last thump, and then smoke is pouring out of the hole. Smell an acrid, burnt flesh, and something else. You're not sure what, but something else in that smell. And there's a thump. And that's it. the fire slowly appears to, but there's a thud. So the fire smoke comes out of the holes. It all goes quiet.
Okay, well, I'll keep a cautious eye on it. So, are we gonna what are we gonna do with this the shed? Are we gonna look inside, or are we gonna just burn that as well?
Well, I think just take the footlocker. We've taken some photographs.
Yeah.
Just burn it down. We don't want any evidence.
Yeah, we need to preserve the evidence from the footlocker, such as it is. The knife will have will provide later clues, we would think.
Yep.
Okay. Load up the car with the footlocker, and confident. You're 99.9% confident that whatever was in the septic tank, you have burnt to death.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Good game, guys. Thanks for that, Kevin, mate.
Yeah, that was excellent, mate.
Short but sweet.
Short but sweet. Yeah, love that.
So it's actually a slightly...
they don't make scenarios like this anymore, do they? It's got to be like 3.5 months long.
Yeah. There's more to this, obviously, but the septic tank. I have run this.
Save it for the sequel, surely.
They got to this, and the guy goes, "Oh, I sell septic tanks for a living. Is it this? Is it that?" I'm like, "Shit, what?" It has to be registered in America. It has to. Yeah, really annoying because you've got to register, be tested. It's like that doesn't work for the scenario. That never happened. Shut up. Wasn't expecting a septic tank expert. But anyway, so you load up the back of the car and you begin to drive down out of the woods, and the phone rings.
Okay, who's got the phone?
It's unknown number.
Okay.
Whose phone in particular, Kevin?
It's the burner phone.
It's the burner phone.
Oh, our group phone, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so do we call the number back?
And it's unknown number. 10:01 p.m. Unknown number. Sorry. Just goes dead.
1 p.m. meaning that's the time of the call,
Yes.
Or was it a text? No. Okay.
No, and it is 10:01 p.m. Seems odd, but you drive off. So your mission parameters were make the phone and or give instructions that explain what's happened. So you make the phone call. Line goes dead. You there on the other end of the phone. Just rings and then cuts off. Rings, cuts off. Rings, cuts off. So what are you going to do with the footlocker as you go about your as you part? Who's going to take the footlocker?
I mean, I'll take it with. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, are we going back to our own shed, or where are we going to? Where's our base?
This essentially is the end of the mission, end of this mission, and you're being sent home. But your handler, the person you're supposed to make contact with, isn't answering the phone. The phone line's gone dead.
Okay.
There's no.
Okay. I suggest that we stash the footlocker, maybe bury it somewhere that we all know, under a lime tree or some shit.
We could put it in a septic tank, maybe. I know where there is one.
Yeah.
Trope shows some enthusiasm for kind of doing some homespun pathology, but is prepared to be overruled because he realizes that the mission is foobar or whatever, in that our handler has disappeared. So if you wanted something done on the contents, I'm happy to do it, but if I'll take a group decision on whether we look into those contents now or whether we bury it because of the absence of our handler.
You would recover. Instructions weren't to investigate, either just recover.
Okay, so we can. I mean, again, I asked questions about the setup of Delta Green. So
remove any evidence.
Presumably, we don't have like a we don't have like we don't have like a lockup or something. We just have, obviously,
No.
we have our own.
You would
We have
normally
our own.
bring-
You know, we live in our own places. We do our own thing. Come together for these missions. So,
Yeah, you didn't-
is it worth us, as you say, maybe organising a lockup or something where we can keep this stuff that's not tied, that's not clearly tied to any of us. We could, use cash or whatever to set up a temporary storage unit, just to, without wishing to sound paranoid. But I don't know if we want to keep it in any of our homes, but I guess we keep it somewhere we can access.
In lieu of an actual green box, setting up your own temporary green box is a good idea. So you then spend the next couple of hours organizing a locker at store safe.
Yeah, we just find some shitty lockup somewhere and just pay
each of you
in
have
cash for like a month storage, maybe.
Yeah, give some false details, and you pay in cash. You also set up all those details. Each of you got the same information to contact Agent Connolly, and that's where that ends. You don't get any contact from Delta Green for about a week, 2 weeks, and then you get a phone call inviting you to a night at the opera. So that is kind of Delta Green slang for invited to go on a mission. So 2 weeks later, you're invited on a night at the opera. You're meant to meet at an office in New Jersey, and you're given the office address. When you arrive, there's an entire waiting for you. And he says, I do apologise for your last mission. We had a slight problem, which is why we've actually called you in. Agent Donnelly, your handler, is dead.
Ooh.
He
wasn't us.
He died
10:01
at about 2 weeks ago at 10:01, the same time you got that dodgy phone call.
Oh dear. Kevin, I need to duck out for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to mute, but carry on.
Sorry, did this new agent say the same time you got that dodgy phone call, or is that just you adding that, Kev?
I'm adding that, but he gives you the date.
Because he doesn't know about it then, right?
The time of the phone call. No.
Okay.
He says, agent died in a house in Meadowbrook in New Jersey. 1206 Spooner Avenue. Because you were activated, became members through Clyde, we believe that it's best if you investigate this incident. We're calling the operation. We're calling the whole thing Operation IAGO, IAGAO. You are to determine the cause of the FBI's recent death. Obviously, Donnelly was a veteran Delta Green agent. Your focus attention is on the house at 106 Spooner Avenue, Meadowbrook, New Jersey, and determine whether it presents an ongoing threat to the public. Once those two protocols are complete, you are to then ask for further instructions. I can give you some information, but so FBI killed.
Sorry, Kevin, you're breaking in and out, mate. Can you...
Sorry.
How did he die?
Your voice is no worse now than it was before. It's just got this chop on it and a bit of a delay.
I don't know what that is.
You said we need to. You said we need to determine how he died. Is that correct?
The cause,
The cause of his death.
Of his death, yes.
Is the body still there? Is it somewhere else? I mean, this was a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, the body is not there. The body.
Has it been through an autopsy?
Yes.
And they couldn't determine cause of death?
I can go through some of the information I've got. Let's see. I'll run through the events to give you a breakdown. So 8 in the house on Spooner Avenue. He went to 1206 Spooner Avenue 2 weeks ago without informing his Delta Green contacts or following the usual protocol. Donnelly's ex-wife called the Trenton FBI office where Donnelly worked and reported him missing. 2 agents from the Trenton office checked his apartment the next day. They found that he unaccountably left his cell phone behind. His normal cell phone, not his Delta Green cell phone. A day after that, they worked with Donnelly's cell phone provider. They found a number of unexplained visits to 1206 Spooner Avenue. The next day, agents checked the Spooner house. They found Donnelly's body. His throat had been cut cleanly as if it were a straight razor. His blood drenched the walls. One of the agents said it looked like somebody had set off a bomb. FBI agents notified the Meadowbrook police, who called in the county coroner. The coroner half-heartedly ruled the death as suicide, though no suicide weapon was found. Then the suicide itself was the fact that Donnelly had followed in the footsteps of Yamila Isari, the house's former owner. Her body, precisely the same circumstances 16 months earlier. The agent's contact says Delta Green watched around the clock to make sure the official investigation into Donnelly's death ended there. Donnelly had a reputation amongst his peers, backed up by an interview by his ex-wife, as depressive and overwhelmed by stress. Judging by his movements and his web browser history, Donnelly had already preoccupied with the house on Spooner Avenue. The house had an admittedly strange, but which was not related in any way to his work with the FBI or any current investigations. He went to the house and must have suffered an overwhelming emotional crisis and killed himself. It was reported in the local newspaper, the Meadowbrook Sparrow, and made the rounds on the internet for the day. Another Spooner suicide. The report quotes Donnelly's supervisor in the office as regretting that Agent Donnelly never talked about what must have been deep emotional distress. The supervisor says Donnelly's friends at the bureau wish they could have done more to help him. Now, things to calm down. Delta Green says they are more careful. But if they are careful, they can keep it that way. Nobody has any interest in. The FBI does not want public embarrassment of an agent going off the deep end. The local police do not want the notoriety of a haunted house story going wide. Neighbours do not want the house to depress the local housing market. If you tread lightly, the latest death at Spooner Avenue will be soon forgotten. Meadowbrook has 2 assets and a green box that could help you. 2 nearby specialists are Elizabeth Tucker, an antiques dealer who lives in Meadowbrook. Emil Yarrow, a parapsychologist, is an associate professor of abnormal college. That's about 2 towns over. And there is a green box in Meadowbrook in a storage unit, which can be found at Meadowbrook Store it, 819 Dewlark Lane, Unit 2230. The agents, he passes you a battered old cell phone. He says for limited use. There are 3 numbers in here. 4 numbers in here. The Delta Green contact, and Elizabeth Tucker, and the Meadowbrook Store it user number.
What is
Right.
in the storage?
That's
We
it.
might as well ask. We probably won't be told. But what's in the
Don't know.
storage?
It's standard procedure with green boxes is you won't know until you. But it is believed that Donnelly may have gone there.
Right, that's the important detail. Thank you.
Our previous mission.
Yes.
Are we to hand over the evidence to you, or will we be contacted by a new handler for that?
Previous mission. What previous mission?
There is no previous mission.
Of course.
You detect there might just a hint smile on the corner of the guy's mouth as he says that, but briefly, just a millisecond. But he says, "With that, I must be going."
Before you do, can you tell us, was Agent Donnelly found with a cell phone?
No.
You said he left his usual phone at home, but did he have a phone on him at the time of his death?
Let me check. And he says no mention of a cell phone. He only mentioned one that he left at home. It is, and there's nothing in the Delta Green agent's report to suggest they recovered a second. That's a piece of detail that would be in a mission report.
Okay.
Had you been on a Delta Green mission before, you would have known.
Okay.
How far away is this?
So you're in Holbrook, up from New Jersey. So maybe half an hour, 45 minutes in the car.
Well, I got nothing better to do today. Is it daylight still, or time of day?
Yes, light. Now, a quick Google search will produce a map of Meadowbrook. So the agent leaves, and it leaves the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can't count, 5 of you in the room. So you needed to determine how you're going to get there, if you're going to use whatever car or vehicle you have, whether if it's your own, and how you are going to proceed to Meadowbrook, where you're going to stay. You don't get the Stenwick run in, chuck the petrol in the septic tank, and run out mission. So you need to kind of decide how you're going to approach your base, as it were, your base of operations, and your general approach.
Well,
Okay.
transport. Into hot wire at Melbourne.
So in terms of transport, do you have, obviously you drove to this, get to this place. So you using your own cars, you picked up a rental, presumably in your own name.
I think we'd want an anonymized rental because we might have to keep observation and things like that, and we don't want it coming back to us personally.
Okay, so this you could fit into a Chrysler Esplanade, a big SUV.
with blacked out windows and
Men in Black, clearly FBI vehicle. Clearly, you could go with a more family-friendly vehicle, but it's a large 5-seater.
I think we don't want an FBI-looking vehicle. We want a large vehicle that still has some privacy glass, but looks like the kind that irresponsible Americans drive with a 4.5-liter engine and
a minivan,
6 seats, or a minivan. Yeah,
a little. So that's not a problem. You can quickly arrange that.
We want a minivan with bulletproof glass and ejector seats.
And at least 20 gallons of gasoline in cans in the boot. You could never be too sure. So you can arrange that. And there's on Route 24 that you could easily get 5 or however many rooms.
Yeah, 5 rooms, but one of those is a suite so that we can accommodate all of us discussing things.
No problem. So you can do that on your way to Meadowbrook, making some phone calls, using the burner phone, which is untraceable. So there are 5 rooms. She says there's a suite for the hotel. It is essentially 5 grubby rooms. There is no suite.
The one with the suite has got an extra corridor.
Yeah, she just moved. They just moved the bed to one side and put an extra chair. These rooms tend to be hour rates for the rooms on the board as you go in and pay for the rooms. They're not sold as you can buy them daily as well.
Is it a love hotel or is it just in a sleazy, druggy neighborhood?
You see cars pull up, and then one person leaves, and a little while later, the other person leaves in a different direction.
And these appear to arrive to be familiar with themselves and happy with each other.
Yes, it's a sleazy. There's the motel. The neon lights flash. Doesn't work. Kind of thing. It's not. You may have to have a bath after staying there a night. Really, it's not great, but it's anonymous. They're not going to be prying too deeply into your past.
Yep. No problem getting a spliff at night.
So, no. So, on the there are some red signs. So, where's my mouse gone? So you are staying. Let's say it's here. The storage unit is here. Spooner Avenue is here. The fire depot is here. Who's Tucker? Tucker, who haven't? Oh no, Elizabeth Tucker. Yeah, yep. Elizabeth Tucker is there. Middlebrook Police Department's there, and the county seat is here. Now, what we mean by county seat is the council building, really. So the council offices where the public records are kept. That's it, isn't it? It's just those 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can't see any more red signs on there. That's your. So you are now holed up in the hotel with only the equipment that you have decided to bring with you. A small overnight bag each with a toothbrush and whatnot. So how are you going to do this mission? What's your plan of attack?
Personally, I'd like to see the scene of the crime first to help us focus where our subsequent efforts might be. That's a thought, only a thought.
Were we given indication as to how easily we can have access to the crime scene?
No.
We were given no indication. We don't know if we have to talk our way in. We don't know if it's still under police tape. We don't know anything.
No.
Okay.
We
Well,
start
then
with
we definitely need to scout it out to begin with, then, don't we?
yeah. Should we start by driving past, or just driving there?
Yeah. So having a drive around the town just to get our bearings would definitely be a good idea. Maybe look for a place to eat and stuff as well. Did you say our green box was somewhere, Kev?
Yeah. So if you look at stuff it there.
Yep.
So you are here.
Oh yes, this is the storage, right? And this was the address, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yes, to get to our storage
I'm
thing,
going to
we'd
say
have to...
your access points to Spooner Avenue are here.
Yeah.
And here.
Yeah.
I think this doesn't connect.
Yeah.
That's all you can connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These,
okay.
I'm not sure what these areas are. I want to say water, but
Marshy bog, maybe.
Could be, or maybe, but they're unimportant, essentially.
Yeah. I would also like to visit the library so that I can look through all old newspapers to see if there has been any reports on this particular property.
For ease of, I'm going to say the county seat, council buildings are either combined with the library or are next to the library.
Yeah,
to make any kind of any kind of library roles in the same place.
Yeah, because you said a previous resident died under the same circumstances, right?
Yes.
I want to find out if there's sort of extended history of that. See if this address comes up.
Yeah.
For any other reason. And I'll go back as far as I have to through the record.
To do that, you need. Yeah. You would need to go back to the county seat for that.
Yep.
So what?
I mean, they're my intentions anyway of what I think we should do. So yeah, we should drive past, see how overlooked this property is, see if it's cordoned off, just get our bearings. Yep. Have a look at our storage. And
how about we go see our storage unit first? And then either go to the library or to the 1206.
I think for me it's a toss-up between 1206. We'll have to revisit it several times, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Or to store it first. So it's whatever people want to do of those two, because one will inform the other.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And whatever's in storage might be good to. We might find something that could be useful. Yeah. Whereas if we go straight to the house.
So if we go straight to your house, I wouldn't intend to get out. I just want to drive past it to see if how residential it is, how many, the type of building it is, all of that sort of stuff. Just drive past, get an idea for the land rather than.
Google Earth it and get a rough gist. And Google Earth, obviously, this is a couple of years out of date. However, months satellites out of date, but a number of the properties nearby look well maintained. And as you scan the image, it's Spooner House. Sorry, 6 Spooner Avenue looks it jumps out as being slightly different. If that makes sense. So a residence street, and you go, that's nice. Oh, that house has got bridges out the front, and it's got 2 broken cars in the back. That jumps out. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Is it a much older property?
They're all roughly the same age. Early part of the 20th century, 20th century. But it's something about just looking at the house. It looks slightly different. Maybe it's because the grass hasn't been kept up. Maybe it's because the lawn, the fence. You can't quite put your finger on it. But as you scroll across that image, you know exactly which one 1206 Spooner Avenue is.
Okay. And how private does it look?
Without drive, that's in front. Say again.
How private does it look?
Relatively private. They're all, they're quite. You would class them as middle class. They're all detached. They've all got their own.
Yep.
Attached. Okay.
Yeah.
Garden.
As you look at it, it looks like just that you've got the map that it's the older part of town. You've got all the straight lines, but it looks like because of the bendy road, and it looks like that's probably just there, and the new town was built from it because it's so well structured after that. There are obviously older parts of town. That's an older
It looks
part
like an upmarket suburb by the wiggly lines as well. The house on Carroll Street. Picket fancy. Yeah.
So, do I get the impression that if we were to walk around the garden, around the grounds and stuff like that, that the neighbours would or would not be able to see us doing that?
Yes, you get the sense, just from the look of the sat nav, that it's probably got a few nosy neighbours there. There are a lot of the properties are very well looked after, or look.
Okay. But there isn't sort of
snapshot image. Yeah,
there isn't trees and sort of shrubbery and stuff that disguises the property that covers. Okay, so we could be seen walking around. Okay.
Yes. Now, anyone with FBI badges, an FBI badge or a law enforcement badge, a lot of credibility and leeway. Flashing an ID from a badge, but obviously, if you've got your own badges, that then to the house, rather than be a Delta Green agent. If you are FBI agent, I know Dave, and show that ID to a neighbour, they're going to know FBI agent Dave went there.
Yep.
So unless you could conjure up fake ones, it would probably be your actual, if anyone has any actual FBI or equivalent ID badges, to the absolute minimum, just in case.
What would the skill be for forgery? Because it's not that difficult to have a proper badge and then replace the identity part.
No, I'm going to say disguise, forensic, maybe not forensics.
Is anybody in
science.
disguise? Yeah, and computer science, yeah. Does anybody have good ratings in those that we could basically use our real badges but try and conjure up a different name for an agent?
Yeah, I have no computer science skills.
My computer science is 0. My disguise is 10, which is, I believe, pitiful.
Yeah.
Likewise. Yep.
Might be right. Just right. Sorry.
Computer science or disguise, I think, are probably the best.
Well, I'm not good at disguise, but I'm good at computer science.
Now, and the issue, obviously, you would still need to go and get a a printer, a laptop, and a printer to be able to produce. Effectively, you're going to Photoshop the photo part of it. Oh, shut up, Alexa. And then print it out, cut it out, to get on. So there's two pieces of equipment that you're going to need to get access to do that. So yes, Agent Toucan could do that quite easily. They need access to certain digital equipment to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, US specializes in strip malls. It wouldn't be too difficult. They used to have all these print shops. They may still have some of them. I'm trying to remember what they were called, but you could go to a strip mall and get something done quite easily.
Not impossible. You would need to find time to go and do that. And we're going to say it is. Let's say it's 4:00 in the afternoon. 4:00 in the afternoon, and it's Monday.
Well, I think we could just basically order something from Comp USA to have it delivered to us at our convenience.
So for that, you would need to get to have a Visa card.
I get that.
Online account.
Oh, joy.
Well, let's go look at this mock-up and see what we've got in the storage.
I'll put it on my to-do list.
We could also
work towards that.
We could just PayPal it essentially. And get it delivered.
You could create an anonymous PayPal account and do that.
For that, my computer science skills would come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it would be up to you to create an anonymized account. We might later need surveillance equipment, for example, under the same sort of principle.
So in terms of ordering creating the stuff on Photoshop and getting it printed out, sent it to yourselves, that is easy. Won't cost that much. The issue is the time it's going to take you to get to your residence, and then obviously you've got to cut and paste, and so you order it now at 4:00. You've missed tonight's post. It's not going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here Wednesday at the earliest.
We'll pay for expedited shipping.
But you could do that, but you're still doing it at 4:00 in the afternoon. It's got to be printed.
This is America, boy.
Yeah.
You pay enough, they'll deliver it to your door on a motorcycle.
So that they tell you it's going to be 24 hours, but it's actually going to turn up Wednesday morning.
Absolutely perfect. Yep, that sounds about right.
And well for it because it's he's got 80% in computer science. That's okay. But you're going to go to the where's it gone? The green box.
Yep. Storage first. Now we've done a broad scope of what we're looking at.
So the Meadowbrook, it's a quick drive. The Meadowbrook storage unit is a small lot southwest of the home. So obviously this map's upside down because that's
it is, just to make things interesting.
Really? Okay, so it's close to Spooney. It includes about 50 large storage sheds surrounded by a 4-meter fence topped with razor wire. A single 2-room trailer stands at the entrance. So facility, you don't need to know that. Yeah. So you arrive outside of the storage unit. There is a kind of an entrance. The trailer office has a door that you can go in. You pull up. Guy looks through the trailer, buzzes, and the little microphone next to the door, you can hear with anyone who has the window down, can hear him saying, "Can I help you?" in a crackly voice. But you need to get out of the car and go and speak to him.
Okay. Do we know the number of our?
You do. You've given the number.
They normally give you an access code as well, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I'll step out and I'll say, hi. Yeah, we just here to look at our storage unit, and I'll give the number.
Number 819. No, so unit 2230. Let me have a look, sir. 2230. Okay. Can I have your name, sir?
Toucan.
Toucan. Mr. Toucan. Your name's not on the lease.
Not on the list.
No. You know. What address do you have on the lease?
Well, I'm thinking to myself now. Would I know?
No, you weren't given that information.
Do I know? As a operative, I wouldn't know how to.
Nope. You were not. The only information you were given was that the dark green box. The green box is unit 2230. Nothing else. Normally, you'd be able to get in quite easily, but this is a bit odd. No, I'm afraid your name's not on the address.
There must be some mistake. This is
Well,
I whisper in your ear in a sort of suggest they're an FBI agent looking way. Use the victim's name.
I see. Well, do we know his address? If we know Donnelly's address, we'll
No.
get that. Oh, we don't.
I'm going to say you can get Donna's address, given that they spoke about transit office and the wife. I'm going to say yes. You can have. I'm afraid that's not Donnelly, and you can hear him and anyone looking through the window. He's kind of the name's with him, but not quite. Because there is an outstanding.
I whisper. Sorry, I whisper. 1206.
No, that's not the. No, that's not the name of the list. There is an outstanding fee.
Yeah, well, I can cover that. It's no problem. I mean, but
$1,200. That's the current balance and the renewal fee. Because actually, this box is in a short time. Months, the contents of the box become. We will you lose contents of the box.
$1,200.
Yes. Now,
Right.
he
I'll pay for it right now, but if you let me get to it, I may be able to release the funds.
Okay, if you can. He puts his hand over the microphone. You can see this. You see him looking down to his left and looks back. Yes, if the $1,200 in cash, I can give you access to the storage unit.
Oh, you're a lifesaver.
No problem.
Yeah.
So how much we need? At best.
Oh. See what
Is
we
that
can
something we
scrape
know,
through.
Kevin? Do we?
Between the five, so between the five of you, you could take $200 to $300 out of the cash machine.
When you say five of us,
today.
Kevin, who's the fifth person?
I'm looking at it, go, there's five, and there's no one of them is me, and the sixth one's Craig. No, four of you. Sorry, you could take up to
$300 a day. You'd
let's say,
yeah,
$300. Sound that right? $300.
Yeah,
cash if you have $300 cash that you could access via your what have you.
Four guys in dark glasses standing at a cash point. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Why have we been given a storage box without access to it?
You don't know.
Does that scream of incompetence?
Yes.
That's as if off the top of your head that this green box has fallen through the cracks.
And one of the problems is, as we've left it now, the guy may well decide to look in that storage unit to see what we're interested in.
Now, he can't do that under
No?
US law until you haven't paid. Then he can go in.
But he might anyway. I mean, since
So
did he show us an invoice with the £1,200 owed, or is that what he
nope,
says?
you're literally standing outside the fence and talking through a microphone.
Yeah, no,
He did register the name Donnelly. So, nearest cash machine. I'm not going to be mean. 20 minutes, you're off, and you've got $1,200 in cash. Drive back. So within, say, 40 minutes, turn back to the green box with $1,200 in cash. He says, "Can I help you?" As he buzzes the intercom.
Yes, we are back about lockup 2230.
Do you have the outstanding?
Yes.
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 Excellent, Mr. Green. I will buzz you in. Buzzes. You can't see me pushing the desk in front of me, pretending I'm pushing a buzzer. Buzzes you in. The door creaks. The gate kind of creaks and groans and rattles slowly. You pull in, getting into the room with this oik minimum wage kid. He has a copy of the Meadowbrook Sparrow on his desk. Behind him. He says, "Yes, it's $1,200, and I can give you access to the keys to your lockup, Mr. Green, Mr. Felix Green."
Very good. Can you give us a receipt and the original invoice?
Certainly. You're going to head over the money. He takes the money, hands you the keys. It says, "Oh, very good. There you
go." It gives us the receipt and the invoice.
No. He just, after he hands you takes the money, hands you the keys, and sits down and continues.
Can we have that receipt, please?
Shakes the newspaper, and on the front cover of the newspaper of the Sparrow, it says "Another spoon of suicide" and a picture of Agent Donnelly. So you have to accept that you've just been rinsed for $1,200.
Yeah, I would have expected him to go and type up something somewhere and basically just supposedly issue a receipt. It's not that difficult to fake one up, I imagine. Anyway,
yes, you money back, but he's not going to do it for you.
Yeah. So let's go look at the lockup, and I'm gonna think about what to do with this.
Okay, so you get up to the outside of the green box. Quite easy to find. It's to 2030. The bottom of the green box, you effectively got a garage door and a padlock. This doesn't look as if it's been opened. It looks like it's been opened over 2 weeks ago, but has been opened kind of recently. Fast growing over. There's the dust and dirt isn't connected. It's been broken. So you would tend to see, as the wind blows in, dirt and detritus kind of lip of the garage door, implying that it's been closed quite a while. This has been opened, and you can see that kind of broken, but it's still over 2 weeks ago. But not so. Maybe it's been open in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, not today by the young
sense.
kid though. Not today by the minimum wage guy.
No. You open it up, and there is a light on the left. And inside there is a plethora. You feel it's safe to go in and close it behind you. But you were lit in you're in a large American garage size box. So going through the green box, I will let you know what's in there. You don't need to make as much time in there as finding stuff out. So inside is an antique table, a sofa bed, 2 plastic wrap, 3 empty biohazard containers, 2 bags of quicklime. I actually wrote all this. The green box contents. Let's go with. You can read it out yourself. Here we go. So, antique sofa bed, the mattresses, 3 empty biohazard containers, 2 bags of quicklime, 2 new shovels, 4 pairs of work gloves, a hat lamp, 14 metal containers for gasoline with pourer spouts, 2 empty gallon-size plastic gasoline containers, 3 newly minted keys to cardboard, and that says Spooner. 400 rounds of gun ammunition, 12 gauge, 2 new Mossberg shotguns with the serial numbers ground off, various fake identities made up for special agent as a Meadowbrook gas inspector, and one as an assistant county coroner, a Nikon F36, a Nikon reflex camera, Donnelly's notes from the investigation, the remains of 20 photographs, and the raison d'etre is a crumbling 4-foot-long wooden coffin covered in recent dirt.
Oh, lots to think about, yeah.
Yeah.
From my simple forensics, am I right in assuming that the quicklime is used to dispose of bodies?
Yes. You put quicklime and it breaks down and dissolves quicker.
Yeah.
It's always best not to have quicklime searches on your Google hit just in case the police.
Yeah. As for fertilizer as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apples, quicklime.
Yeah. Is there anything you would like to look at?
Well, certainly his notes from the investigation, but the cameras, do they have film? Unused film?
Film or digital, Kev?
Or they
It's-
digital?
It's a film.
Yeah, this adventure was
the-
written before really good cameras, I guess.
No. So this is not a digital. It's a proper reflex camera. The photographs show traces of images of 126 Spooner Avenue, but it's beyond impossible to tell what. There's like a roof, nothing. It's just a crumbling mess of burnt photographs. There is no roll of film.
I got to ask about the coffin. Is it sealed and shut, or is it open and empty?
So you're looking at the coffin.
I'm not opening it, by the way.
No.
I'm just seeing if it's.
You need to make a sanity roll. But it says Anton Ture, Ture, hyphen over the what's it called? Over the E, there's a little acid circumflex. 1957 to 1966. So seeing this will cost anyone that actually has a look at it. If you 1d4, if you succeed, it doesn't cost you anything.
Joy.
Kev, that's just for looking at the coffin, yeah?
Yes.
I don't think anyone's going to avoid it.
Yeah, I'm. I'll say I'm committed.
So anyone that fails makes a 1d4. Anyone that succeeds, but it doesn't take an expert to realise that actually, given that this has got mud around it and it's the wood's quite old, and it probably has someone or something inside it.
Well, I've got the heebie-jeebies apparently, so that's the end of the investigation for me for a little while.
So two's fine. If you make a failure and you get more than 5, then you can have a break with reality. That's not as bad as the Cthulhu break with reality, but you lose a sense of what's going on. So anything else? So the coffin's obviously disturbing. You have no idea who Anton Ture is. How old is he? 9? 56 to 66. Yeah, 9 years old. So it's not a very big coffin. Is there anything else?
Kevin, my laptop battery is about to die, and I can't find for the life of me where the power cable is.
Okey-dokey.
Just so you know, if I cut out, I'm still looking. But if I cut out, that's the problem. Okay.
No problem. So,
one of the things that concerns me, I said, because you can see I'm a bit freaked out, is that obviously Agent Donnelly decided not to open this for certain reasons. He's had a lot of time to plan and get together all this kind of stuff, but he left that unopened.
Yes. This was not opened. Or does not appear to be. If it has been opened, no, it's not been opened.
You'd see newer nails or something like that, wouldn't you, if it had been...
Yeah, popped out. Or yeah.
So we could take one of those keys at least.
I don't have any guns. I don't know. I think 2 of the characters probably were provided with guns.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are a couple of agents with guns.
And there's no sort of training requirement. It's just a firearm skill, the way it works in the game. Is that right?
There is a bit of training for some weapons, but a shotgun is it's still a skill, but So it's 30. No, that's melee. Weapons was the firearms.
Firearms.
Yeah.
Bottom on the left.
Yeah, there's a firearms skill, which
So base 20. But the advantage of a shotgun, especially a buckshot shotgun, is that you've just got a point in the area, and you will do some damage. You shot. It's not like a handgun. We've got a aim.
Toucan, were you armed or?
No, it doesn't look like I got anything.
Yeah.
No, the only people who've pulled out weapons is tiramisu and trombone.
Is that because they have law enforcement or other background like that?
Unless they've told you, you just make that assumption.
The teardrop tattoos under my eye indicate something different. That's a joke. I am not.
I'll certainly take one and a dozen rounds.
Yeah,
cool.
I'll do the same if
Cool.
nobody
If you need to use it,
I've seen the other guys. I've seen the other two that they had weapons. So
yeah. They're quite large items. You can use a vehicle relatively easily. So, is there anything else on that list you'd like to have a look at?
well, have a closer look at the fake identities and.
So these are a variety of Karen's gone. There are a variety of names and
I'm still here,
addresses. Oh, you are? Okay. So it's Stephen's gone. So there's a variety of names on there. Nothing you recognise, but he's got a whole host of different IDs. How many was it? Various. So yeah, but just obviously the gas inspector and the assistant county coroner has got a photo attached to it. Again, if you attempt to need to get a photograph of yourself and reattach it, doable, but time you need to
Yeah,
spend
we're getting equipment for in 36 hours time, so it'll probably be the same kind of deal, really, wouldn't it?
Yep. So you're already done, and what a laptop and a printer.
Yes, and paper, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Photo paper.
Yep. So, is there anything else on that list that you'd like to have a look at?
Well, I was just wondering if we attach the telephoto lens to the camera, you might be able to sort of spy on the house from up the road, far away.
Yeah.
I think we should.
The camera does it does attach, and the telephoto lens does give you a good viewpoint.
I think you might have. We certainly asked it earlier. I'm not sure if you answered it, but essentially, it would have a number of films, and there'd be a counter on the film that's in the camera, if there is a film in the camera.
Yeah, there's no film. There is no film in the camera.
Okay. But there is film. Is the film for this?
No, there's no film. Just the burnt photographs. Which I do think there's a camera, and then had you lot go around trying to find it, get it developed, and find out there's nothing on it. That does feel like a red herring. That was a red herring. But no, there's no.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you could take it, and it.
I think the furniture is weird. Does the furniture look as if it was moved in at the same time, or does it have more dust on it or less dust? Table, mattresses, bed.
So the antique table that has the lamp, the gloves, and the cameras on it. They're just like sitting on these items. They're not just spread over the floor in little boxes. They're all all attached.
Yeah,
The table was pushed up one side, and it had the photograph, the note, then the fake ID, and the keys.
Yeah. Based on looking at the dust around it, given that we think somebody's been in this locker somewhat recently, can we tell if any of those items have been repositioned, picked up? Anything done with them?
There's not that level of dust. No. I mean, this is a relatively clean storage unit. It's not it's not run down. But no, you can't tell if other than the drag marks of it looks like it's been dragged in and plonked down.
Last, probably.
Yes, marks also indicate that a wheeled thing was used. So probably a single person used a trolley. What are they called? A sack barrow. Yeah, a dolly or a sack barrow to come in, to bring the coffin in on their own. So you get the sense that only one person's involved, or one person brought the coffin in, given that that's what was used, potentially what was used, because you can see the wheel marks in the mud that scraped on the floor rather than footprints. So two people didn't
Yes. Okay.
carry.
So, in conclusion, one person carried this in using a trolley or similar that isn't in the box itself, has been taken away. Presumably, it belonged to the.
You suspect that this lockup might have a dolly or a trolley or that kind of thing.
There's going to be nothing we gain from that.
No, you suspect that if you had a look around the yard, you'd see a sack barrow. A sack barrow.
Right. Well, I think we need to study Donnelly's notes and take those away with us. There could be bundles of stuff in there, or it could just be a guy going slowly insane.
So, essentially, it's some torn pages from a notebook. But yes, you can gather up and take them back to the hotel for further investigation. So I guess the burning question is, are you?
At this stage, no, not before reading the notes. I got freaked out enough just from the aura of that coffin. So I think we read the notes and let sleeping coffins lie.
If you need to get rid of the coffin or the contents, you do have two new shovels, 4 pairs of gloves, and a hat lamp.
And some good old gasoline, or at least the containers. Yeah.
But also you have 3 empty biohazards. The first thing you think of when you look at them is Night of the Living Dead. The zombies in the biohazards.
I was thinking more like the guy in Crawley that dissolved people in his workers' yard. I can't remember what his name was now.
The acid bath murderer.
Oh,
yes, that's him. Yeah.
Oh yes. And found that the other day that it's up by near Asda.
Yeah, Martin Clunes played it rather well in a film of it, but
I can't remember what discovered this that and you can go to the location. It's just a yard now, but that was quite
There's no goggles in the green box, but I imagine he had his goggles with him. Yeah. There's the hat lamp presumably for working at night.
Yeah.
What I'm puzzled
Yeah.
about is the two plastic wrapped twin mattresses, sofa bed and antique table.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a closer look at the antique table.
So the antique table is so when we say antique, it's 1920s antique. That's their understanding of what antique is. So it's old, but 100 and just over 100 years old, kind of antique.
So it's just a plain table. Nothing.
Yeah, it's a 1920s table, so it's not going to be just square, a bit more upmarket than a utilitarian table. So circular legs going down to a point. Maybe there's a caster at the bottom. There's a caster at the bottom. Sides has a small drawer that comes out that's empty. So it looks more kitchen table than anything.
There are no scratches or knife marks or that sort of.
It's 100-year-old table. You take everything off and put it onto the sofa bed, and wipe it across your year's worth of use. Nobody's names are scratched in there. There are marks on it. It's not. You would need to sand down the top completely and revarnish if you wanted to use it in your home. But it's not. It's not been ruined. It's just had got 100 years of and knives and forks being put on it, but not massive cut marks. It's just the little grooves here and there. Just a very well used antique table that's probably not worth much. It's got no. It's probably the equivalent of an IKEA table now in 100 years' time if it survived.
The sofa bed, does it have any signs of use, such as hairs on it or anything like that, or is that wrapped as well?
No, that's not wrapped. Actually, if you open it up, there is pillars inside. So somebody it has been slept in, but this is an old green box.
Yeah.
So
can I look
for this was used?
Can I look for any forensic hairs or anything that I would know ought to be recent within the bedding?
Make a search roll. Yeah, make a search roll. You are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm searching for my nose.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. The light in here is a bit dim, so you can't quite. No, there doesn't appear anything that jumps out as being forensics, but you ultimately you skip that lesson when you did your forensic.
When I matriculated by paying £500 to $500 to the University of Wichita.
Yeah. So there's nothing in there that there's no obvious stains, obvious hairs. It just looks like a relatively clean sofa bed that has been used. You can see on the little indents on the floor that kind of indicate it may have been used a fair bit over the last few years. So not just related to what Donnelly was done, but previous missions. I mean, that's what you find in green boxes. The detritus of previous missions.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll find really useful stuff. Now that you've got access to this green box, if there's something you need to hide or get rid of, you can sell 10 years and then hide your stuff in it.
Yeah. We'll take all of the keys so that they are removed. We've removed both of the shotguns. I think it's a precaution. We should take the fake identities with us, along with his notes. We're potentially using the Nikon reflex camera, although that's really old school. That's a very strange way to do things.
It is, but the telephoto lens does give you a slightly longer range without buying a telescope kind of thing. So yes, it would be useful to take the fake identities and burn them at the get to remove any any link to Donnelly.
Yeah, exactly. We ought to protect his family as well. And
I mean, notwithstanding there's a 4-foot long wooden coffin in the place. But...
Yeah. Well, we don't know what that is yet. We will return, but the Donnelly stuff, we tried to protect his identity and the FBI operations or whatever operations they were. As far as possible. So we anonymize what's left that we can practically, and that's mostly paperwork.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this is going to take you a couple of hours really to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. I'm going to say that's about 7 o'clock. You return back to the hotel. So
to examine the notes in detail.
Yeah, it seems as if Karen's laptop may have now died.
And the laptop has. I'm on my phone, so I'm on Discord on my phone, but I'm not on Roll20.
Okay, so did you see? We've read out the contents of the green box.
Yep. I think I got.
So,
I think I got most of it. I don't think I missed anything.
So it's the only thing you really haven't gone through is you haven't opened the coffin or read the notes.
Yep.
So,
but we've taken the notes with us to read at the hotel.
Turn back. Yes, you turn back to the hotel. So back at the hotel, it's getting quite late. So at some point you will need to. But so who's going to be
PayPal Pizza? It's going to be Toucan with his anonymized PayPal account rerouted through Tor or something stupid.
Oh yes, but I mean, do you have the money? It's not quite clear whether you've each taken $300 out of your own accounts. So just want to double check to see if anyone's going to get a text from their spouse asking why they've just taken $300 out of the food
checking account. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's just spiteful. I'm not doing that. So you arrive back at the hotel. You've ordered some pizza, and you're going through the notes now. There are most of it's a scrawl of Donnelly's handwriting, which is the most coherent, and they kind of give a sense that that 1206 Spoon Avenue has consumed Donnelly's mind for years. In essence, being a local, Donnelly had heard many stories of the Spooner House, particularly as a child. Thought that it might be truly haunted, never. The kind of notes indicate that up until Amanda Braintree's death a few years back, hadn't yet haunted. After investigating the house and the guys that would be Donnelly, and this is what you're getting from notes. It indicates that he thought he could actually be a potential buyer. So he just felt that this was really odd. Why that he'd gone from just a curiosity to think. He put these details in a report, sent it to Delta Green, but it looks like Delta Green never replied to him. Then his notes resume. Dari entered the picture, but they're a bit haphazard and disjointed. Donnie seems to have tried to dissuade her from buying the house, but he also to recognise that in her eyes that had once toyed with him, she could not be convinced, and he could not bring himself to do worse. Donnie stepped up surveillance on the side to isolate herself in the house, and the last few pages are filled with increasingly bizarre statements written almost like math equation in order. Reading these paint a picture of a man bent on a single person, uncovering the secrets of 1206 Spoon Avenue. And I've got some of the notes. There's a mouse gone. Wake up. Pretty sure I've got some of the notes.
That Jamila Asari was the other person that supposedly committed
She
suicide.
died. Yeah.
In the house.
So that's the notes.
Can I suggest for the guy that's on Discord, if you screenshot and email it to him, maybe?
Yeah. I'm just going to try and do just that. Badly. Oh, just
Put that in.
So Karen, send you on WhatsApp. We'll do it. No, that's not that one. Where is it? There it is.
You put it in the Discord, can't you, Kev?
But if I do it on my phone, it'll chuck me out the other Discord because it's spiteful and hates me.
Okay.
So,
got it.
If you can read that,
yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants to go through and paraphrase what that kind of says.
It says, hooray equals not dead, question mark. Roaming the house.
The guy in the coffin.
Roaming the house, question mark. Only at night, question mark, / grave. I think. Shovel, gloves, headlamp, cash, question mark. It looks like some of the stuff we found in the lockup.
Burn it.
Burn it.
Yeah, something.
Grease tried, didn't work.
Something tried.
Talk to survivors. Canadian mental health
laws, I think.
Laws. Music from dining room. Oh. Laughter or noise upstairs. Someone else in the house. And Isari not returning calls.
Yeah.
Well, pulse. Well, I can't quite know.
Falcone death?
Fake death?
Oh, right. Coroner, yeah.
False death, coroner. Wheeler furniture, books, pages, estate. Talked to it tonight. Knew my name. Knows I'm watching it. Still no movement. Open house next week. Buy it? Question mark. Burn it? Question mark.
That's it.
Okay.
This isn't in Canada, is it? This is in the United States, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So Turi, however you want to pronounce it, that is the body in the green box. The coffin.
Yeah. What were the date range again, Kevin, on that?
5066.
Okay, well, that's why it's only a small box, eh?
Yeah, 4-foot box.
Yeah, 9 years old. That's probably about the right size for a actually undernourished 9-year-old. It's a bit small, but for a small 9-year-old.
Yeah. Unless he was a tall 9-year-old with no legs. Just
or had no head.
Yes, there is a Lovecraft story in which the coroner by the one size, and rather than bury by more ones, he just breaks the legs of the people he buries and fits them in the coffin.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, and they get out and they're on these stumps trying to kill. Anyway, but yeah, so that's quite interesting document, and that's the only the kind of the last bit of his notes that makes
the one I can't really make sure of. It doesn't look like false death to me. I'm just trying to read it. It looks like FALC.
I'm just double checking the coroner's name in case.
In case it is Falcone or something, who was an Italian prosecutor killed by the mafia, but never mind.
Yes, that is correct. Nope.
Oh,
So no, the coroner is not called Falcone. Just trying to see if that name.
Do you see what I mean, though? It doesn't look like false.
Yeah. It's just written badly, and we can't make out what he wrote.
FATC, FALC.
I'm just having a look at the map and get the image again. Something death. Car.
It could be a K. FAK.
Yeah, it could be.
It's just,
Oh, you think it's fake? It's a very bad K compared with the rest of his writing.
Yeah,
fake.
But
FAK. Yeah, I'm not.
It's okay. I think we've got the question mark.
He doesn't make his K's that way. If you look two rows down, it talked to it tonight. It's a construction.
Yeah.
French would write that way. There's a sort of C shape.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, so it has to be a mystery, basically.
That's not. Yeah, that's. I couldn't find that thing. I couldn't work out what that's fake death, false.
Yeah, so we'll leave it as it is.
Yeah, unless it
illegible
pops up again.
It's illegible.
So, yeah, maybe that's deliberate, and that's if it is, it's annoying because there's no notes in.
Yeah,
it,
that's fine. We'll come across it when we meet our own death, no doubt.
Yeah. Oh, that yes, obviously. Yeah. So. Oh no! It is Falcone.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
It is Falcone, and actually we know. So so you've got Amantry was mentioned. No, it is Falcone. Yeah. So.
Do we know who Falcone is at this point in time?
No, you don't. You don't.
That's something to research, obviously.
Yeah.
And the open house, did we get any details on when this was sold, roughly? No,
you haven't spoken to anyone with that regard.
Okay.
Only that 2 weeks ago he was found dead. Just double checking that he. No, he went missing. We checked the cell phones, and they linked back to the house. Found he'd been dead. Called the coroner and the police, and then kind of left and just buried it as a suicide. There was no other mention he went there. No, they didn't tell you why he went there.
Yeah.
I mean, something's notes indicated that he was trying to persuade Yamila not to buy failed.
Yeah.
You have 4 names: Yamila Stari, Falcone, something, Amanda Braintree, and the Turies. There's 4 different names.
Kevin, can I go online to see if this house is still up for sale or if it was bought?
Yes, and it is up for sale.
It is still up for sale.
Yeah.
Because he was debating whether or not to buy it. I was wondering if he bought it.
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps we can book a viewing or something like that.
You could do an email because it's now set. You send an email and request a viewing, but you do have the keys to go in there. Sorry, no, it is being sold. It's not up for sale yet because obviously he's dead and he's not going to sell his estate within 2 weeks. So it's not up and sold recently. You go on to, for argument's sake, Right Move USA, and it shows the property was last sold 2 weeks ago.
So he did buy it then.
Yeah, you get the sense that that's timing wise buy it.
Also, if I pull up some news articles online about the death, does it mention that he died in his property?
Yeah, suicide in the infamous suicide house. I think they refer to it as. If you look on the Meadowbrook Sparrow, there is a small page that says another suicide Spooner, another Spooner suicide, and it just says that this is not the first.
Okay, so it doesn't say recent
tragedies.
Recent found dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to need to go to the county seat information about who were the previous owners.
Yeah.
And there's a knock
Of our motel room.
of your motel room.
That'll be the pizza guy.
Yes, it will be the pizza guy. And he brings not the pizzas you ordered, but just slightly different. Almost as if he listened to what you'd ordered. So pepperoni and cheese. You got a cheese pizza. Ham pizza with no pineapple. It's just a little bit wrong, as if they're delivering to this motel.
Who cares, right?
Yeah,
They may not even be alive when they come to eat the food. Yeah.
No.
I ordered bacon and banana.
Yeah.
PJ,
So
which is not.
Oh, you used PayPal, didn't you? So you have the pizza, and you feel full. You can either go to it's 8 o'clock, retire to your rooms for the evening, or do something else. You could go.
I'm going to spend a bit of time on the note here, trying to work out in my mind what sort of when these different notes were made. Were they all made over a short period of time or not? Just using forensic techniques to try and work out whether it was written in 5 or 6 sessions.
Does anyone have psychology at 30% or Hummit at 60%. Hummet is human intelligence, kind of a psychology-ish.
Could you check my shit for me, Kev?
Sadly, I don't.
Oh yeah. Cornwall.
All right, don't give it away, Kevin.
No, I was thinking of places where it's
But
wet.
I have forensics at 80, but do you think that is biological forensics?
So this is yes, it's biological forensics. You've got psychotherapy. So Agent Trombone, just glance. You get the sense that Donnelly was nearly psychotic when some of the notes were written.
Okay. Some of the later notes, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Do I get a grasp as to how the time period between, say, the first and the last note?
So this took
How far apart?
several weeks. But we're going back years. He seems to have been obsessed with this place, as it mentioned, a number of years, like a light obsession, building, and they were like, proper notes, and this kind of disjointed series of statements. So the first segment, from Turi to Cash, was written once. And then maybe a day later, a week later, Burnett, individual statements or sentences were written at different times.
Yeah.
Over a period, initially maybe days or weeks, building to, speeding up.
Okay.
So, we get some rest, or do you want to do any kind of scouting?
Well, do we want to check the house out? Yeah, whilst it's dark. We've got the keys.
Yeah. Have we got all the players? We've got 3, I think.
Yeah,
Is
so
that right?
it's just yes. Steve's had to drop out for a sec. He's had to drop out. So it's 3 players.
Are you happy if we go
You've got one,
forward
if
with
that helps.
that? Are you happy
Yeah.
for us to go forward and go into this spooky house at night to see if there are indeed
If you would,
wanderings?
yeah. There's, it's entirely up to you if you want to go in. If you want to drive around, have a look.
Yeah.
I think anything could go wrong.
Why don't we drive up and at least observe it from a distance for a few moments, and then, before we pull up outside or nearby.
Yeah, let's drive over there at least.
Yeah.
Gates. Put that there. So you make your way. It's only a short distance.
Can I suggest a vehicle protocol, which is kind of cheesy? You either park a distance away, or you park where you want to park, but you open and shut the doors while staying inside. So it sounds like you've left the car.
Yep.
Lights off in the last 100 yards or something, 50 yards.
Yep. You can do that.
Sounds
Make
good.
a stealth.
Oh, perhaps who's driving should be doing it.
Does anyone actually have drive skills? Because that would be. Now, I'm assuming one of you.
Drive 20. That's got to be
Oh.
capable of doing something basically straightforward.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be for demanding?
That's really. No, none of you are competent.
I have drive 20.
Yeah.
Me too.
Trombone.
Wouldn't it?
You can drive at 60.
Okay, lovely.
So it's trombone that's doing that. Turn the lights off. Open, shuts the door, and there's silence. You see a light come on, but nothing jumps out as being odd. What are you going to do? You're a little distance away from the green books.
Do you say a light comes on and goes off? Is that
Yes.
in the car, in the house?
In a house.
A neighbouring house, not the main house.
Over the road. Not sorry, a neighbouring house, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess whoever's got most acuity can use the viewfinder of the camera and the telescopic lens to look more closely.
Who's going to do that?
Whoever's got acuity. I don't know what that would be. Alertness is one thing, but it's not really that. It's sort of
essentially anyone finder, and just by moving the thingamajiggy can focus and have a look. It's that's not a skill. So whoever look through, I'm going to assume that Trombone is driving and therefore not has the camera, so that falls to Toucan.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, so you know you focus looking at the house. It's an old house, could do with a refresh. The only thing that jumps out that you notice is there is an Amazon parcel on drive. The porch.
Yeah, they toss it from their vehicle and run. Great.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll mention this to the others. We will continue watching for a while. What's that going to be? 30, 40 minutes, something like
30,
that?
40 minutes past 9. No, getting close to 10 o'clock because you're at pizza. And nothing.
The Amazon package has been it's been squashed a bit due to your OCD. Do a sanity check.
Yeah. So, the Amazon parcel looks as if it's on the porch, not thrown. It's neatly placed. It's not like lent up or anything, or just it's not a funny angle. It's just neatly placed.
Toucan, do you want to go and pick up that parcel and we'll have a look? That would require a bit of stealth, ideally, which I don't have any of.
Yeah, I will. I'll go.
Actually, I have 10% of stealth, but it's horrendous.
Well, I thought I had 10, but then I looked just to the right of the button. I've got pretty reasonable. I'll have a go. I'll sneak out and grab the package.
Checking your. Yeah, let me just double check you're the right person.
Kev, there's no crime scene tape here at all or anything, is there?
It doesn't mention it. 2 weeks. No, I'm going to say if it is no, there's no crime scene tape. I don't.
Okay.
I didn't see that jump out as saying crime scene tape. We'll check. No, it doesn't say. I'm going to say there's no crime scene. So, Toucan, you make your way to the porch.
Stealth roll.
You can make a stealth roll. Where's my mouse? Let me have a look what you got. Stuff 18%. So you as you get there, you successfully think you've made it. You've made it. Nobody has seen. Now, the porch itself is a simple stones by iron bars, 3 steps up. A single lamp hangs above the red door, and the porch looks like it opens into a small foyer. Make a willpower check. Yeah. So where's that thing you got?
Where it says willpower points, it doesn't look as if it's rollable though. It hasn't got a green.
No, let me just get the. Is it? So you need to make a willpower check. Oh, that's clever, isn't it? So whatever you get,
Take 1d100.
and I, yeah, make it, a percentage roll, and I will tell you if you survive. Survive. If you if you succeed, slip of the 30%. Okay, you arrive on your own, and you lean down to pick up the and you begin to hear music playing from inside the door. It appears to be Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata playing inside the house. And the house there's a small window on the door that allows you to look into the foyer.
Potentially. If he would wish to.
Yeah. Do you wish to look in to the window?
I'm going to first go back. I'm going to resist the temptation to do that. I'm going to first slip back to the car and reconvene.
With the parcel or without the parcel?
Yeah, with the parcel.
Okay, so you do need to make a sanity check.
It's only an Amazon parcel.
Beacon to this house, and there is no piano or stereo that you could see. If you fail the sanity roll, it's 1d4. If you
hate that Beethoven.
You leave one. You lose 1d4 sanity, and as you return to the house, to the car, in of the car, you can see the address on the Amazon parcel, and it is your toucan. And that's a perfect place to leave it there, I think.
Yeah, as I get in the car and I sit down, close the door.
It's got
I'll
your real
the address,
your real name and your home address written.
Yeah, and all the others here is what the fuck.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't turn the internal lights of the car on because that would give it away. So.
Yeah. Oh, so if you successfully do a skill, you're supposed to tick it. We'll remember the next time. So, there in Lynn's episode 1 of Music from a Darkened Room.